Xbox just pulled the pin on the calm little wait and see grenade, and the internet reacted like somebody unplugged a raid boss mid-fight. Phil Spencer is out, Sarah Bond is out, and Asha Sharma is now CEO of Microsoft Gaming, which means the vibe online shifted from "what the F" to "who gave the intern the flamethrower" in about 9 minutes. And before anyone says relax, the comments did not relax. The second people saw Core AI in her background and Instacart in her resume, they started posting like Xbox had replaced Master Chief with a quarterly earnings slideshow. Just a heads up, every stutter and weird pause in this video is 100% organic, locally sourced human error. That is the whole battlefield right now. You've got players asking for games, identity, exclusives, and a reason to buy a box. And then Microsoft drops a leader who has to prove she actually speaks the language, while the crowd is already throwing tomatoes from the cheap seats. To be fair, this is not some random LinkedIn stranger who wandered into the wrong meeting room. Microsoft officially announced the move, Satya Nadella backed it, and the pitch is obvious: platform scale, consumer systems, big ecosystem thinking, all that corporate boss fight vocabulary. But the audience is not grading a strategy deck. The audience is grading vibes, and gaming audiences can smell performative PR faster than a speedrunner sniffs a glitch. So, the blowback came in waves, and every wave had a different flavor. First wave, she's from AI, we're cooked. Second wave, she doesn't game. Third wave, why is this reply written like sarcasm? Then came the meme tsunami, because of course it did. And here's the part that makes this messy instead of simple. Some of the criticism is fair, some of it is strange, and some of it is straight up internet sludge. You can question the hire without sinking into conspiracy fanfiction. You can want proof without acting like every woman in tech got teleported in by a secret cousin committee. There is no public evidence proving nepotism in this appointment, so let's not cosplay as prosecutors. Microsoft's own announcement and major reporting frame this as a succession decision tied to Phil Spencer's planned retirement and a broader leadership reshuffle, not a family favor speedrun. That said, people are not mad because they suddenly care about org charts. They're mad because Xbox has been wobbling on identity for years, and this move landed right on top of old pain exclusives, layoffs, studio trust, persistent confusion, and the feeling that the brand keeps talking about ecosystems when players just want killer games. So, Asha did the smart thing. She went straight to X and started replying to people fast, which is either bold leadership or a speedrun into a hornet nest, depending on your blood pressure. Windows Central and GameSpot both highlighted how active she got almost immediately. And honestly, that part matters. Silence would have been worse. Silence would have looked like a corporate submarine dive. At least she showed up. But showing up on X is like walking into a bar fight and announcing you're here to improve the jukebox. Even if you mean well, somebody is throwing a chair. She posted, fans piled in, and the internet instantly started running forensic analysis on her replies like they were the Zapruder film of gamer authenticity. Was the tone too polished, too fast, too helpful, too emoji-ish? The AI accusation started almost immediately. Then she dropped the line that made half the timeline laugh and the other half squint harder, beep boop beep boop. That was her response to someone saying they thought her account was AI. It was a cheeky jab, and GameSpot reported it blew up fast. That joke was actually decent, and it landed. But it also poured gasoline on the fire she was trying to step around, because when the new Xbox boss comes from Core AI and starts robot joking during an AI panic, people don't hear humor. They hear the script became self-aware. Then came the gamer cred test, because of course the internet built a checkpoint and put a sweaty gatekeeper troll under it. She shared favorite games. She named Halo Valheim and 007 in one reply, with outlets noting that many fans read that as GoldenEye. And that 007 wording triggered a silly amount of discourse. Some people treated it like a confession under bright lights. Aha, fake gamer, nobody calls it that. The internet can turn 3 characters into a federal case. Still, perception is the whole game here, and first impressions matter. If you're stepping into Xbox after Phil Spencer, who built a public image as a very visible, very game-literate exec, every word gets audited like patch notes. Windows Central compared the street cred question directly. Then the gamertag happened, and this is where the story got spicy. She shared her Xbox profile and people immediately dug into achievements, timestamps, and play history like archaeologists with a caffeine problem. Windows Central reported that her visible Xbox history looked very new, with the earliest listed achievement on that profile landing on January 15, 2026, in Halo, the Master Chief Collection. They also noted recent activity across Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, and Borderlands 2. That single detail lit up the backlash machine because it fed the narrative critics wanted. See, she just started. Then the dunk posts multiplied, because the internet loves nothing more than finding a timestamp and acting like it solved history. Now let's be adults for 10 seconds. A public Xbox profile is not a complete biography. People game on other platforms. People use private accounts. People play without achievements. People also, yes, create a fresh public-facing account for PR. None of that proves fraud by itself. But this is where Microsoft misread the room. If they thought a fresh gamertag reveal would settle concerns, it did the opposite. It gave skeptics a screenshot, and screenshots act like internet steroids. And the funniest part is she actually did things players usually beg executives to do. She replied directly. She engaged with fan requests. She even followed through on trying Borderlands 2 after someone suggested it, and that got coverage. That should have scored points. In another timeline it probably does. In this timeline, every positive move gets cross-examined like a suspect. Then the exclusives issue came roaring in, because Xbox fans are not subtle when they sense platform identity slipping. A fan posted a plea about exclusives being core to Xbox identity, and she answered with a short reply, "Hear you." Multiple outlets covered the exchange. And that two-word answer was perfect and useless at the same time. Perfect because it acknowledged the crowd without starting a policy fire. Useless because Xbox players want specifics, and "hear you" functions like a loading screen with punctuation. She also joked about the old Blades dashboard, which hit the nostalgia nerve immediately. Smart move, cheap move, effective move, pick your angle. It's classic "I know where the fandom pain lives" messaging. The bigger fear though is not a dashboard skin. It's AI in the production pipeline. That is the dragon sitting on the treasure chest. Asha Sharma's background in Microsoft's core AI organization is real, and Microsoft, PC Gamer, and others spotlighted that context right away. So when she says Xbox won't flood the ecosystem with soulless AI slop, people hear a promise and a warning. To her credit, she did say the line everyone wanted to hear. In her opening messaging and in coverage, she stressed that games are art, made by humans, and she said she has no tolerance for bad AI in development. That is the right line. It is also the easiest line to say on day one. Players are not waiting for lines, they're waiting for behavior. They want to see what gets greenlit, what gets cancelled, who gets staffed, which studios get breathing room, and whether AI tools help devs or replace half the room with prompt roulette. That is why the backlash feels so hot. This is not really about one reply. It is a trust debt arriving all at once. And if you want the blunt take, here it is. Microsoft did not hire her because she has the coolest achievement list. Microsoft hired her because they think Xbox needs a platform operator in a messy transition era. Whether players like that answer is a separate boss fight. The internet keeps trying to force this into a fake binary. Either she is a secret genius savior or a total fraud who will destroy Xbox by Friday. That is drama brain. Real life is uglier and slower. She might stabilize the business side and still fail the culture test. She might earn trust with game-first decisions and silence many critics. She might also become the face of a strategy she didn't invent and get blamed for every scar on the brand. All three are possible. What is already true is this: she walked into the hardest job in Xbox at the worst possible vibe moment. Phil Spencer's exit is not a normal handoff. Sarah Bond leaving amplified the shock, and fans were already angry before she typed her first reply. So, if you're writing this as a roast the situation harder than the person. The situation is comedy grade. Xbox fans asked for games and got a leadership arc, an AI panic, a gamertag autopsy, and a beep boop meme in one weekend. That is not a rollout. That is a side quest written by chaos. And if you want the punchline, here it is: the new Xbox boss can survive being called fake on day one. What she cannot survive is being boring on quarter 4. Because players will forgive an awkward reply. They will forgive a weird 007 phrasing. They will even forgive a corporate first month if the game's hit, and the platform stops feeling like an identity crisis in a suit. But if this turns into more brand poetry, more ecosystem buzzwords, more future of play speeches while studios struggle and exclusives evaporate, then the backlash you're seeing now will look like a tutorial level. That is the real you versus them angle. It is not gamers versus one executive. It is players versus modern AAA management that treats trust like a renewable resource. It is not. So yeah, roast the Mimi rollout, laugh at the achievement detectives, clip the beep boop line, joke about ordering a new Xbox strategy through Instacart and getting it arriving in 12 minutes while the driver circles the block. The material is right there. Just don't lose the plot. The plot is simple. Xbox fans are not asking for a perfect gamer CEO. They are asking for someone who understands that the brand cannot survive another era of corporate fog and half-committed identity. Asha Sharma now has the job. The title is real. The backlash is real. The skepticism is earned. The sexism and race bait trash mixed into some reactions is also real, and it makes the conversation worse. Now comes the only part that matters: what ships, what gets protected, and what gets cut. Because X replies are free, trust is not. And one more thing, because this always gets skipped in the yelling, day one optics are not destiny. Xbox has had leaders with gamer cred make decisions players hated, and it has had corporate moves that looked smart on paper and landed like a brick in a swimming pool. The audience is loud now because the memory is long. Years stacked scars and the new chapter opened. Nobody gets trust points for a slogan anymore, period.